Hello YouTube, today's YouTube video is gonna be when you should invade level 1. So I'm sure everyone knows that most people want to invade level 1 whenever they have a fresh pike, Twisted Fate, whatever, some type of CC, where they just run straight into bot lane and invade. But that's not the type of invade that we're going to talk about today. We're gonna be talking about late invading. So when should you late invade as a jungler? So you want to lane invade as a jungler whenever you have the stronger side laners. So you wanna, at level 1, basically in champion select and in loading screen, decide can you invade or can you not invade. And you simply do that by taking a look at champion strengths level 1. So if we take a look at Darius versus Tahm Kench, who is stronger in the level 1? Well, that's actually Darius because of his passive. Darius gets 5 seconds passive, the enemy will bleed and they will take a lot of damage. Then we take a look at Graves versus Echo. So Graves will start E level 1 typically, and Echo will typically start W level 1 to take the least amount of damage from jungle camps. And this obviously means that because it's very easy to dodge the Echo W level 1 as long as you have vision of him, essentially Echo can't offer anything in terms of a 1v1 fight, or level 1 fight. Also on top of that, Graves is ranged while Echo is melee, so that's another beneficial thing. And then we have Arctis versus Aatrox. Both of them are actually strong level 1 because both of them will take points in Q. So they're about even. Then we have bot lane where we have Jhin and Karma versus Misfortune and Renata. So Karma level 1 is really strong because she has access to her ulti, so she can ult Q. Jhin is okay, he's not the strongest early game AD carry, but he's not the weakest. MF, decently strong level 1, and Renata is also okay level 1, not as strong as Karma, but you get the idea. So in this game, where I am playing Graves, it would be a good idea for me to invade. So where would it be best for me to invade? Well, I could invade bot lane because we're slightly stronger on bot lane, but we are much stronger 2v2 on the top side. So therefore I want to invade this game on top side. And I'm going to be showcasing how this invade will be played out. And then I will give some examples on when you shouldn't invade or when you should be careful of an invade. So now let's see the game in action. So here you guys can see that this is the exact team comp that we were playing with. And basically what I am doing here is we walk into this bush right here. You can also stand in the pixel bush, up to you. One person will have sweeper. Typically it will be the jungler, could also be the support if you do it on bot lane. And then you just make sure that it's not warded. So in this situation it's not, because we ran straight into the river and we didn't see anyone. And typically you will leave this bush between 125 to 127, 128 to walk towards the red buff. And then as soon as we leave this bush, I'll use the sweeper to see if the enemy has vision or not. And here, as we can see, they don't have any vision. And then we simply just walk in. And by the time you reach this point, so we invaded a little bit early. You could have delayed 1 or 2 seconds. But the main thing is that you don't want to invade too late, because then the red buff will be too low HP and then they can just smite it away. But right now it's at 1300 HP, so it's not even close to being in smite range. So here you can wait a little bit, as long as the enemy is not going into this bush, or you can simply just go straight in. And yeah, here we just end up going straight in. Darius gets first blood. Then we turn on to the Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench also dies. I can then take away the red buff. And then after that, then I will take the raptors. And then after that, I'll make sure that Echo is not invading me, so I'll go ahead and defend my own bot side in case I get invaded. So that is what I do, or would have done here, but then I end up walking bot lane and I get another kill. But yeah, you get the idea. So that was the successful invade. Now, what would I have done differently if the team comp was looking very differently? So now, obviously, you're playing jungle, so you have to pick a champion that is quite strong level 1, unless if you have really, really strong laners level 1. So a good example would be, let's say that we, instead of Darius, we now have Malphite level 1, and instead of them having Tahm Kench, now they have Riven level 1. So in level 1, Malphite is not that strong. Riven is really strong because of her passive and her triple Q. So even though I'm stronger than the Echo as Graves, because my Malphite is weaker than the Riven and Karthus versus Aatrox is roughly the same, it would be very risky for me to invade on top side now. So what could I have done differently? If I still wanted to invade, I could then see, well, can I then late invade on bot side level 1? And that would then rely on, well, who is stronger on the bot lane level 1 and who is also stronger in mid lane. So you have to think 2v2 top lane, potentially 3v3 with the mid lane, and on bot lane you think 3v3, maybe 4v4, also with mid lane. So here, if I wanted to invade now with this team comp, it would be better for me to invade bot side. But let's say I had, instead of a Karma, I now had a Yuumi. Well, now with this team comp that we have, it is impossible for me to find a good late invade level 1 because the enemy team would simply have the stronger laners. So even though I'm stronger in the jungle level 1, because of the enemy laners being stronger, I should not go for an invade in this situation. So a different situation would be, let's say you have a champion that is not that strong level 1. So let's say we play a champion such as Diana, who's not that strong level 1. But let's say our solo laners consist of, say they consist of Olaf top lane, and a really strong mid lane champion would be something like, I mean, we can just put Ahri because he does have a charm. So now it looks a little bit different. So now instead of them having a really strong top lane champion, let's say that they now have, let's just say that they have strong top or a weak top lane. Let's say they have Gangplank. So now it's, even though in the jungle, both junglers are weak level 1, because our solo laners are stronger level 1, now I can still go for the invade. So a lot of junglers do not use this late invade level 1 strategy. A lot of junglers simply think that all jungling is about is how to path and how to gank. Whereas in reality, there's much more to it. And I'll make another video covering these invades, tempo plays, objective control, covering teammates, pushing teammates' lanes, warding for teammates, and stuff like that. So if you want to see that video, remember to leave a like on this video so I know that you want to see it. But yeah, to go back to the topic of this video. So basically, analyze the game, try and get an understanding of, well, who is stronger level 1 on the solo laners and side laners, as well as in the jungle, and then figure out, can you invade level 1? Because it's much easier to win the game if you're already ahead level 1 than if you're just gonna go even against the enemy jungler. And then basically comes down to, well, who can find the better ganks on the map. And that heavily comes down to how are the different laners, especially on side lane, how are they playing. If Olaf is pushing like a madman, and I want to play for my bot lane, but my bot lane is pushing, and Echo is pathing towards top, well then Echo can gank top and get ahead, and I would have no chance of getting ahead. So that is quite problematic. So instead of risking having to flip these ganks and basically relying more on your laners and their wave management, try and go for these late invades level 1. They are really, really powerful and you know when to do them. And when it comes to how to cover for them, the easiest way to do it is simply to put a ward right here. Because you'll typically be invading from here when you invade the top. You can also invade through Tribush. If that's the case, then you can put a ward here on the edge of the backside red buff bush, because it will cover whenever you're entering from any side. When you then want to invade through bot, you can of course still do the same thing, just on bot. Invade like this, but you can also sit down here in the river bush and then walk up. In order to cover for that, you would simply put a ward right here. You can find the exact spot by just going into practice tool and testing. I can't draw the exact spot because it's very, very small. But it is possible to cover, and that's basically how you would cover in case that you are the jungler who's either weak level 1 or have the weak laners level 1 and you are scared of the enemy invading you. So if you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like. If you have any questions regarding these late invades level 1 or want to see simply more examples of it, then leave a comment in the comment section down below. And otherwise subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And then I also want to say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next YouTube video or in my next live stream on Twitch. See you guys.